Yeah. Receiving your content. Yeah, so I'm live. Hopefully, my internet stays up long enough. I'm just going to post this to Facebook real quick. Yeah, cough, 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 cough. Hey, what's up? Scott Balkum here from Imagination Creation Films, and today we are talking about all things filmmaking again. I'm going to do it my style, which is going to involve a cigar because you know what? It's my style. So, yeah, got somebody watching. Who's like, hey, Jason, what's up, man? How's the G7 treating you? As if Instagram couldn't tell me that. Oh, yeah, it's going to be a good day. I don't know if Sundays is the right day to live stream. I'm just trying to figure this stuff out. Just having a little fun. Playing around with a little bit of lighting this time. And I need to stop this, actually. Pause that. I'm watching. I got the ability to see myself now, so I'm feeling a little special. Loving the hell out of it. Yeah, dude. I can understand. I get it. And you're getting some pretty nice framing now. I mean, you have a natural eye for it, which is cool. Some of your framing on some of your shots is pretty phenomenal. I'm not going through and loving every single one. I'm just trying to help you understand what's good in my eye to what you're doing. So, you know, if I'm not missing them, I'm just trying to really show you the ones that are just awesome, because keep those up. Those are amazing. And you've got, like, good God, how many followings now? You don't, like, you're almost as many as I do, and I lose them all the time. So, you know, what can I do? Is the stream going good? Is it clean? I think I've got the settings right now. I've got kind of the look kind of narrowed down. The lighting, I think, is looking better. The colors are looking better. The audio's better. The cigar's about to be better. Yeah, it's, well, that's not going to work. Ew. Man. When somebody puts your cutter in goo, that's not good. Yeah, well, you know. Somebody spilled something. 13. Hey, what's up? Thank you. Jim. Yeah, it is crazy. Yeah, I was playing around. I had the Kinos up top going, and I thought, you know what? Let me just try just like one of these Quasars down below, because I've had this problem getting light up underneath my eyes because of the hat, because I put the mic right here. And I thought, I'll put that there. And I was like, let me put one right here. And then it was so bright, I thought, why do I need the Kinos? So I killed the Kinos, and I thought, well, that looks good. So then I was like, well, let's just put these over here. So this is all being done with 4 of these little tiny LED tubes. And my God, these things are amazing. I kind of held out on them for quite a while, thinking, yeah, I mean, really, how often am I going to do it? And then I had a need in the music video to put these up vertically around the back. And I said, well, let me just try them. Bought 4 of them. Yeah, it's totally good now. Stream is horrible. Jameson, come on, dude. Stream says perfectly good stream, dude. That this is the G7 on the Zhiyun. I don't know how to pronounce it. This is the new Crane Plus. Talk about that one here in a little bit. It's quite an amazing little gimbal. Kind of liking it. Got my Fuji X100F now, so I'm kind of the cool kids now. But let's see. I don't know, Jamie. I don't think anybody agrees with you. They said the stream looked pretty good. Jim, you won't lie to me. How's the stream look? Hey. Omatola, is that right? Omatola? Hopefully I pronounced that right. Good to see you. Ooh, gadgets and gear. Yeah, we're going to talk about lots of gadgets and gear and pretty much whatever you guys want to talk about. And if you don't want to talk about anything, I'm just going to start talking about whatever the heck I want. Jamie, you're lying. No, dude, Jim, these are just the daylight tubes. What they're calling them. They're just the 30-watt T8 tubes. They're $75 a piece. They're amazing. I probably will get 4 of the crossfades. The reason being, then I can have 8 daylight to go around, and then I also have 4 that could switch over. Jamie was talking about gimbals. Look amazing, Scott. Thanks for sharing. On Snapchat? You mean Instagram? I don't do Snapchat. Snapchat's not my thing. Gadgets. 30ing, do I know you? Have we met or chatted before? I want to indulge in my... Maybe I am. Apparently I'm not. Well, the old standby. Do it this way. No! Yeah, total fail. I like my torch here because it lights really, really well. All right, let me light this real quick. If you're under the age of 18, you shouldn't smoke. If you're over the age of 18, you should smoke cigars instead of cigarettes because they're far better and more an enjoyment. Stream is healthy. No active stream. Oh, no, wait. Okay. I don't think so, but had subscribed and had notification on. So here, hey, well, I appreciate you. Really, I do. Looks good. Internet crapped out for a second. Yeah. Mint Instagram. Yes, gotcha, Jason. You need whiskey with that. Well, I've got my prop, but I'm drinking. This is my concoction. I've got this like total addiction to, the cran tangerines, cranberries, any of those. This one's cran pineapple, and I mix it with ginger ale. I call it pineapple ale, but it is so good. It's like a light pineapple gingery soda. It's fantastic. I know whiskey would really, really help it. So what do you guys want to talk about? I'm here for you guys. I kind of enjoyed this last time. I really kind of want to do this on a regular basis and, chit chat about anything and everything. So what's, Jim, to the 4 foot, and to the 2 foot, the cheap T8. What do you think of the 2 foots? I felt like, for just a little bit more money, I'm getting the 4 footers. Are you using the 2 footers that often? I mean, they're cheap, that's for sure, because the 2 footers are what, like $45? I mean, these things are amazing. They're just little tiny tubes. They look like a fluorescent T8 bulb, and they have a little like 2-prong outlet on the bottom. You can dim them. They're pretty amazing. On that G7, so this is the 8 to 18 that's on here. It's not what I typically am running on here, but it balances far better. Plus, it's super, super wide. And honestly, if you're on a gimbal, the wider you can get, the better it will look. I haven't tried it yet with a telephoto. I just got this past week. So far, really do like it. I have seen the original Crane. I saw the V2. Then they had the Crane 2. The Crane 2 was a lot bigger, could handle a heavier payload, but I didn't really want all that bulk. This one is the Crane Plus. It just came out like last week, and it's got removable tripod on the bottom. But it has a couple of cool features. I guess we're going to talk about this right now, but I said whatever you guys want to talk about. It has a really cool feature that if you actually turn it on, it turns on. It's cool. So it's balanced. It's all cool. And you go to mode. Let's see, which one is it? Nope, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. There it is. You can Dutch with it. And that is too cool. You can go up to 45 degrees. If you go more than that, it goes, nope, we're keeping it 40. But you can run and Dutch. That is amazing when you're having fun with gimbals, because just everything's about, just kind of creating your mark on life and showing off your, I don't know, what's in your brain. And being able to do a Dutch every once in a while, it just takes it to the next level. It has lots of cool features. You can invert it. You have up and down. Still learning it, but pretty solid. I'll work on that balance next. Yeah, that's because I don't have it perfectly balanced. I was just throwing it together right beforehand here, but for the most, that's the front to back. Let me get it rebalanced here. Come on. Switch modes here. Yeah, it is right now not balanced. I should have done a better prep before the. Really, the lens cap? Well, maybe that'll make a difference. Hold on. Let's balance this right here on live on air. We're forwarding backwards. Go forwards. Oh, ever so slightly right there. Okay. So we're locked forward. Okay, side. Good. Side. Little bit poppy that way. Okay, so we just need to go to the right a little bit. So balancing a crane is not terribly difficult. Takes a little bit of effort the first time, and I went too far. And then it becomes second nature to you. And all you're really doing is you're taking it one step at a time, and there's an exact order you should do that in. But you want to do front to back, side to side, and then the rotation itself. And once you get it, it locks in. Let's see, catch up on the chat. Balance one every time you say or try to say. It's amazing. Yeah, it's sales pitch fail. Yeah, Jim, thanks. Let's see how it did this time. Yeah, come on around. Balance, turn it on. Yep, okay. Nope, we've already lost it. All right, so it might be a little too much. I don't know. What is it losing on? Let's try front to back. So, yeah, front to back is losing. I had it with the little 25, which is one of the ones that I normally would put on here, and it was so light that I couldn't get the camera far enough forward. So live and learn. So front and back. Oh wait, we're in wrong mode here. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a lot of weight. So what else is going on, people? We got 5 people in the chat, and I'm happy to chat about anything or demonstrate anything or discuss anything or you name it. I did buy this Fuji. I'm really kind of late to joining the Cool Kids Club, but I've always been that way. You're talking about a guy who used to tuck his shirt in high school, so I don't really have any skill set per se or any cutting edge anything. But a little Fuji, I got it for one specific purpose. Every time I get my A7R out and I put a good lens on it, it's big, I end up videoing with it, constantly videoing. Same thing with the G7. I'm out, I set it up, I got a time lapse going on it, I'm videoing. The GH5, I've got it, I'm running around, I'm videoing. The Red, obviously I'm videoing. I never take pictures. I take pictures on the iPhone and everybody goes, hey, cool, iPhone picture, yay. So I got this because, number one, it has the fixed lens, which means I can't be choosy, and I am the most finicky when it comes to lenses. So it is what it is. Strap it on, and snap my pictures. And it takes some really nice pictures. It's got some cool film emulation in it. I just kind of dig that. But it's a forced photo taker. Yeah, we'll do video, but I'm not even trying it on purpose. Do I like movies? Yeah, I do. I'm a cinemaphile. I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to movies. Pretty much, I like everything. I'm all about I'm all about the visual in movies. Jim can attest to that. We've been Jim's in Austin too, and we bought the movie passes, and so we've been kind of doing a deal like every other week we go to a movie together, and then we sit around and chat about it and talk about it. And there's some fun and interesting movies and some cool movies, and it's all about the look for me. Of course, I like story too. What kind of movies you guys like? Feel too newbie to add, dude. Ask questions. 30. Feel free to ask any questions. I'm here on all levels. I'm happy to help. If I know the answer, I will give it to you. If I don't know the answer, I'll make it up and pretend like I did know it. No, ask any questions away. Photography, video, guilty pleasures. Guilty pleasures. Jason, I'll get to you in just a moment. I don't know what a guilty pleasure would be for me, because I'm at that age where I pretty much do whatever the heck I want to do. And yeah, I have a family and my wife is very supportive, but I don't really have a lot of guilt in what I do. Right now, I'm just full focused on this stuff all day long, because this is what makes me truly happy. So I don't know about guilty pleasures. Black Panther, Jason. Sorry, I wish I had it's not this. I've had a cough ever since I went up to Lubbock and shot that short with the Hamill brothers. I got this like dry cough, and I cannot ditch it. This is actually the first cigar I've had in about 3 weeks. Black Panther. So, and this is a movie that I saw with Jim. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I didn't think it was the absolute best. And the reason I didn't think it was the absolute best was I felt like they wanted to get so much story in the beginning. Like the first 40 minutes probably could have been compressed down to 15 minutes, and I would have been a lot happier. I mean, there was literally a moment where I almost nodded off. Literally a moment where I almost, I basically almost nodded off at the beginning. It was just a little slow. It looked good. I was really pleased. The story, after I sat on it for quite a while, I was afraid it was going to be preachy, but it wasn't. It was preachy, but it wasn't bad preachy. And in fact, where the preachy came from was on the evil side, and that made it very tolerable. I just don't like people trying to teach me a lesson, and this film does not teach you a lesson. It was honestly, it was a Disney Marvel movie where you have a good outcome, and I like that. Yeah, whiskey, get rid of the cough. Actually, the syrup helps a little bit. Annihilation this week. All right, Jim, it's a date. It's your theater this time. I gotta sign up for that rewards thing so I can get my free popcorn. Pronounced perfectly. Cool. Cattle poo in Lubbock. I don't know what it was up in Lubbock, but I got there, and within 24 hours, my sinuses had like completely clogged up. It was dry and windy. It was cold. It was wild. Probably all that fog that we had in the shots didn't help. Although fog's really not that really bad. I believe, as Jim put it, haze for days. You had me going back and looking at that shot over and over again, going, I don't know. So if I think I talked about it last week, and I did put a link, I thought. I'll put a link down in the show notes later for the short that we did. And the first scene, I really wanted this moody kind of evening where the sun is setting. You got these beams of sunlight coming through. So we hazed it up like crazy to try to get that feel. And it had a lot of haze. And then Jim's like just stabbing at me just left and right. And I happened to notice, I was watching Bridge of Spies, one of my favorite movies, by the way. And they used haze for days like crazy in that film, mostly because it was so deep, like the long hallways. They put tons of haze in there to just kind of cancel it out. So I didn't feel too terribly bad about my haze, man. You English in your tea. I can't do tea. I don't know what it is. I can't do tea. I'm just now starting to get into coffee. I'm weird. What can I say? Yeah, 30 man, ask some questions. Feel free. Don't hold back. I mean, just total noob. I mean, you've got some pretty accomplished filmmakers in here too. Jim is quite the filmmaker there. Jason is really pretty badass at photography now. He bought a G7 just like 2 weeks ago, and he's just flooding Instagram with photography. I think pretty much all the hashtags are all his now. Let's see, tea tree oil. Jim, you were criticizing. No, it was just a comment. Everything anybody says to me, it always weighs on me, and I think about it and try to figure out what it means to me. I mean, I listen to everybody. I don't have a problem. Aw, shucks. So, yeah, these quasars. Yeah, this is the second time using them, and I'm really sold on them. I think those are awesome. I really kind of want some of the RGB lights now. I mean, honestly, I would show you, but I used all four. Originally, I was just going to have the one, and I was going to have the three over here so I could talk about them. Well, but I mean, they're about as big around as this. It's just, it's a small tube, and you just clamp them onto a C-stand using a Mayfair clamp or a Super Mayfair. And you just kind of clamp it at the end, and it sticks out 4 feet. There's one right here. You can't see it, but I'm touching it right now. There's one right here. You can see it's super bright right there. And there's these two right here. Those are the only lights. Well, okay. I do have a, ooh, yeah, it looks so cool. Wish I could say I've got my own fogger. I've got the Lico light, the focusable back there with a gobo in the back, just kind of giving me some breakup, some pattern back there. So, I mean, that's all the lights there are, these two and these two. And honestly, these are more for show than anything because these two do everything. Ah, Jason, you're going to film make. Nice. What you got anything in mind? I imagine you'll be moody with your films. Just my thought. We'll see what you do here. Adam, what's your main camera you use at the moment? Adam, let me get to you just a minute because 30 has a question. After a year and a half of filming on my phone and teaching myself video editing skills, I've just got a camcorder I'm happy with, but it seems everyone is going for full actual camera. Yeah, so, I mean, I feel you. I did the camcorder for a long time. The format, I just felt better with it. What happens is on a camcorder, you tend to gravitate towards the automatic on stuff, and you lose like the small little nuances that you can put in yourself through manual on that. So I honestly, the only camcorder I have is, well, I actually have two, but it's sitting on a shelf, and its only purpose in life is so I can recapture all of my old tapes, because I have like 200 mini DV tapes from way back when. That is the only purpose. Honestly, there's a reason to get into a full-blown camera. Like this guy right here, and Jason H can attest to it. This is the G7. This, I believe, is the absolute best bang for the buck in a camera nowadays. You get it, with a stock lens. It's back there, a little short lens, nothing special. But it's a 4K camera for $500. It's a micro four thirds, so you can swap out the lenses. I mean, I think this is $1,000 lens on a $500 camera, but it works. It makes such beautiful images. Even the 4K looks great on it. Jason's been taking photography, and now he's going to dabble into the filmmaking. So, I mean, this is a heck of a deal. Adam, what is the main camera that I use at the moment? So here's the answer, and anybody in filmmaking will know this answer. It depends. Depends on what I'm doing. I have a camera for almost every purpose. Simplicity. When I'm out and about, I'm vlogging, or I just want to get some simple or not. I don't want a lot of setup time. I'm using the GH5 right there. I use it live because I can get that audio adapter and put it on top. That goes to a wireless, and wireless is right here. I love the look of the GH5. It's a micro four thirds. It's fairly small. It has great battery life. The 4K looks amazing. It shoots slow motion. It does a lot of cool stuff. The G7 I use primarily because I have the GH5. If I didn't have the GH5, I'd be carrying around this G7. But the G7, it is almost exclusively on time lapse. It's getting B-roll when I'm shooting with that one. I usually set it up somewhere and just sit there. Usually it's shooting in actual 24 frames a second, and then I go back and just speed it up. But I love the G7. This is the Sony a7R II. I'm on the fence about getting the a7R III, but this is my time lapse. Anytime I'm actually doing night photography or night time lapse or daytime time lapse or anything that really counts, this shoots basically 8K time lapse, and it's a gorgeous image. I use that exclusively. Then this, if it matters, if it's something I'm selling, if it's something I'm doing for someone else that requires it, I'm shooting on the Red. This is the Red Dragon here. This is my main big camera, and I did not almost just lose it there. It just slipped off of the little cap there. The Red Dragon is easily my favorite camera in the world. I mean, they have newer ones, and I can't justify spending the money on the newer. I do a lot of nature videography and such with this. So it depends. I'm not going to carry this around for a run and gun. I'm going to carry around the GH5. I'm not going to carry around, and this guy right here I take for just photos. I mean, it really does depend. Let's see here. What's your main camera? Okay, man, chopping a bit for the RGB tubes. Yeah, Jim, I am too. Man, the price on RGB, it just seems a little pricey to me. G7 in love. Need to swap out your lens. Yep, Jason, let's talk about lenses at some point here. I can definitely point you in some right directions, but go to a camera shop and put your eyes on them, because that's the way to do it. That's what I paid for my camcorder. Should have waited. Yeah, 30. I mean, I get it. I mean, you can't win and you can't lose. I mean, the moment you buy your camera, it's obsolete the next day anyway. So, shoot what you got. I tell you, the best camera is the one you have in your hands at the moment. Let's see here. Been trying to fiddle with manual mode more than automatic. Yeah. I mean, learning film or photography and videography, you need to know that camera in and out and know what it can do and what it can't do. And doing that with manual, try to force yourself into manual mode all the time. Make the image yourself. That way you'll know what you can and can't do in the future. And it pretty much applies across the board. The only thing that will change is the translation. So this camera at ISO 800 in this color space looks like this. This one looks like this. But the shutter speed, how things look, the f-stop, all of that is going to translate perfectly camera to camera. So learn that manual. Where am I based? Oh, yeah, 30. Okay, that's to him. In Guilford, Red Dragon looks like a beast. Yeah, Jason, it is very heavy. The brain itself is only 5 pounds, but when you rig it out, it's 16 pounds. But it shoots 6K at 82 frames a second. That's pretty amazing. And raw. It is such a beautiful image. It has 16 stops of dynamic range. It's amazing. Yeah, Jim, I think you're gonna have a better camera at some point. Best camera you used to date, but I kind of picture you in the airy world. I don't know why. I feel like you're that kind of rebel, but you're also. I think you're going to be in the airy world at some point. What's my Twitter handle? Oh, you're 30 and you're probably going to Jason H. Got it. Steve Cross. Hey, got a G7 too. I mean, I'm telling you, the G7 is the best bang for the buck out there. There is no question. And who is blowing me up in the middle of a live stream? Bill. Oh, Bill is watching. Hey, Bill, why don't you say something on there since he's he's chatting me in the middle of live chat. I mean, what the heck? He says it looks good. That's good. And I have not, I limited the bit rate to 1.5 megabits. I mean, that's all I have out here. I'm supposed to have 5, but last week it was 2.5 megabits what I had it set at, and I kept blowing up the stream health. So this time I just tried 1.5, and I have not had an error yet. Stream is in sync. Nice. Audio's sounding good. 13, but time to get the kids to bed. Hey, 13, stop by anytime. I'm going to do this kind of on a regular basis. I just don't know what it is yet, but if you keep that little alert bell on, it'll let you know when I'm doing it. But I appreciate you stopping by, and feel free anytime. Ask a question on YouTube even. I answer them. I don't care. I'm not, I don't scratch my head and go, really? The only time I'll do that is if it's in the video and you didn't watch the video, then I'll go, hey, look up here. But yeah, appreciate you stopping by. So what else does anybody want to talk about? I've only been streaming for 32 minutes, and last time I was 2 hours. So let's do this. The cigar I'm smoking is the Partagas Black. I have not had one of these in probably a year and a half, and I miss them. Not that they're anything special, but they're just a great smoke. Just a kind of a chill and good flavor. Even they burn nicely. I wonder why this thing wouldn't. Oh, weird. Yeah, this thing wouldn't light. This is weird. Whew, a little propane. Or butane. Let's see here. Used to not like them. That's true. There were... I don't know which one. So Bill is one of the ones that got me hooked on cigars. And I've known Bill since, I don't know, how long has it been now? Well, over 30 years, we'll put it that way. And yeah, Bill and I, we go smoke cigars all the time. In fact, Bill's coming to NAB this year. Yay! We're gonna do some vlogging, probably some live streaming from Vegas too. We don't know. And we're going to be enjoying some cigars and few beverages. Jason H, microphones for filming. Yep. Yeah, got two options for you, dude. And they're both winners. I keep forgetting that my audio goes with me, so I don't have to yell when I lean over. All right, so these. Whoa. No. Well, that sucks. Didn't sound good, did it? It's no big deal. Okay. It's my footrest on my chair. It became loose. There we go. Ooh, now it's too high. That's a little awkward. All right, so microphones. So here are your two options that I would say you cannot go wrong with, and for two various reasons. And I will post a link at the bottom. In fact, if you look on any of my videos, these mics are linked in there somewhere. This is going to drop again. Yeah, Jim, go take the dog for a walk. So this is the Rode Video Micro. Tiny, tiny, tiny little microphone. It is a unidirectional microphone. It's a dynamic microphone. So if you watch my video on audio, it should go into a lot of these, but this guy right here is like $59 American. And it doesn't require any batteries, so you just plug it into your G7 or whatever camera you have, and it sounds pretty good. Bill uses this one exclusively on his, and I use it on the G7 all the time. This, if you're going for, I wouldn't say broke, but if you're looking for a better quality, this one is the Rode Video Mic Pro, and the new version is the Plus. And the Plus is even better because it has a different battery technology and it auto turns off, which means you don't forget it. This is a shotgun mic. It's very directional. These are all shock mounted, so you don't hear the thunks if you tap your camera or anything. This one does require batteries. They last about 18 hours or just one use if you leave them on like I do sometimes. I use rechargeable 9 volts, so it doesn't matter. These do come with, they come with a foam option. Well, they come with it. So this is the way they look. And this is what you'd use in an exceptionally light wind or indoors. And they look great. This is the dead cat for them. I think they all come with the dead cat now. I know the Video Micro does. This one is like $300 now. Worth its weight in gold. I love this microphone. Talk to it like this, and it sounds amazing. And pointed out this way, you can't hear it all. But there is a trick. So if you're vlogging and you're pointed at yourself, and the lens is pointed at you, and you got it pointed at you, then yeah, it hears you just fine. But when you turn it around, but you still want to keep talking, well, now it won't pick you up. Turn the microphone around on the camera itself, point it back at you with the camera pointed forward. Now you can continue to talk. It still sounds great. And yeah, that works. So these microphones are definitely the ones that I would recommend. I've got a long-standing history with Rode. Gosh, I started using Rode back in the 90s for some of the music recording that I had done, and their microphones are fantastic. I love when you turn your audio, stays constant. Yeah. Yeah, the Video Micro is a little less directional. It is directional, but it's a little less directional than this one. So this one has the rejection about 90 degrees or so. You'll start to fade off. This one, I mean, if you get off about 10 or 20 degrees, it's going to start dropping off on there. Let's see, really good audio. If you're standing behind them, oh, yep, heard. Dead cats attract too much attention. That's true. For some reason, everybody sees the fur and they just want to know what the heck it is. You tell them it's a dead cat, and then they look at you like you just murdered an animal, and then they finally get it, that it was a joke. And, you know, then you go on, you have your own little happy discussion, and the world is a happy place. But dead cats are super easy to put on. They're just Velcro. This oddly seems a little dirty. Sorry. Just slip it on. Goes all the way to the back. Put that on. And then we're just going to Velcro them together. And now they're on. And there you go. Have you ever used a dictaphone? Um, yeah, I actually have. Not not so much in the way I think you want to use it. It will work. The audio quality is usually not as good. They're usually very omnidirectional, which means they're going to pick up sound all around you. They're that way on purpose so you can set them on your desk and every attorney can be heard. They're a lot better nowadays. I used to carry one around, oddly enough, back in the old micro cassettes that I would sit there and record my ideas into them as I was driving. I probably shouldn't do that, but that's the way I used to do that. That was back in the 90s. And just anytime I had an idea, I would just jot it down. There are some new ones coming out. I know that Zoom just announced a new micro recorder. I don't know what it's called. It just got announced at the CES show, but I think it's $99 and it records a really nice XY stereo. And it's about the size of like a dictaphone type. That's something you might consider because it's going to have a much better quality of audio. As a headphone. Oh, look at you, Steve. Yeah, that was my one gripe with the G7. No headphone jack. I thought that was such an odd thing, and you've solved that by plugging it into the receiver. There you go. Let's see. What else anybody want to talk about? I mean, you've got till the cigar is done, and then I may still talk depending on what's going on. How's everybody's Sunday treating you? You're in England. You're much later, so it's evening now there. Bill, you're in Texas. We got 6 people. Who are the 6 on here? Steve, have we met or have we chatted on YouTube? I don't recognize your name, but I'm also the world's worst at names, so don't take that in any wrong way. If there's anybody joined in, please subscribe if you haven't already, because we're going to do these on a weekly basis, and then I'm going to be getting back into my pumping out videos. I've just been on a lull. I've also been writing a lot of music lately. Just kind of switching the modes around. It's all creation. It's all creative, but you gotta be a little bit of happiness floating around. Just kind of break up the day a little bit. First time. So Steve is also in the UK. Okay, so apparently if I live stream at 2 o'clock on Sundays, I get all the UK guys, which is cool. I was going to ask if we could talk about music. Yeah, we can talk about music. Anybody want to talk about music? We can talk about that. So Steve, you're in UK as well. Where are you at? Because Jason and 30 who just left, they're both in the UK as well. You watched some of my vlogs. Cool. Road video with Boya receiver it is then. Yeah, I mean, that solves quite a bit of dilemmas there, and you know, that's what this is about. Is, you know, I have some ideas, and other people have ideas, and interaction. Hey, we've got a community. It's the best way to do it. Wow. What part is that in? Shropshire. Shropshire? Probably Shropshire, my guess. I'm American, so I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Let's see here. Jason knows it. Jason's probably photoed it. I don't know how you do it, man. How you get so many diverse shots in a single day? I mean, are you traveling like really far, or are you just like on a walk and you just happen to see an old barn next to a cemetery that happens to be next to a really nice building, next to a flower garden, next to a pond? You get so many different shots in one single day. I don't know how you keep up with that. Shropshire. Shropshire. There we go. Yeah, cool. You just know about, I will agree with you, sir. You definitely know your area. Also, I think your world of video, I think you could open up some really cool, just kind of montages just with your area. Just think about it. You get the nice photo. Now take that same photo and just take your camera and just slowly creep in. You know, if you're not going to shoot in 4K, shoot in 2K on the G7 at 60p. And then go to, when you're editing it, which you're going to have to learn if you're going to do a video, but when you're editing it, conform it to a 24p, or 25 actually. I guess you guys would shoot 50, wouldn't you? Yeah, okay. So 50, and then go to a 25 timeline. Then you have 2x slow motion. So now your nice little push in that you do on a flower or a duck or anything like that, it's just going to look a little more cinematic. And then get some cool music. I mean, YouTube actually has quite a bit of music that you can use for free. If you just go under the, like, if you go to your dashboard of your Creator Studio, you all have one if you have a YouTube account. And then go down to the Create on the left-hand side at the bottom. There's a section for music, and it's free. Some of the music tracks require that you put their name in the music, but you can use it. You can monetize if you get your 1,000 subscribers, all that good stuff. And then if you really start to enjoy the video, then get like, I use almost exclusively now the Epidemic Sound. I really like the music that they have. It's very cinematic, and they have a wide variety, and it's $15 a month for YouTube. If I had a affiliate link, I would link it, but just go to epidemicsound.com. Basically, you can use that. Any of their music you can use for as long as you're subscribed, and then once you stop subscribing to them, you can continue to keep all the music that you've used, but you can't use any more or download any new. But that's a hell of a deal, honestly. What else is going on in everybody's world? There's 6 people watching. Who we got? We got Steve, Jason. Oh, Rock Vlogs, dude, what's up? Hero 6 and a Rode Video Mic Pro to video me and the kid playing music. Would it be better off with a stereo video mic? Playing music. If you're playing actual acoustical instruments, yep, you'd be better off with a stereo mic. If you are playing, well, and there's multiple of you. If it's just you playing acoustic guitar, no, this would be the most awesome microphone. Point it directly at like the guitar itself or the drums. Probably not so much here. This one would do quite well with drums, just kind of put it overhead. But, I mean, if you're really wanting that multiple musicians on acoustic instruments sound, then a stereo mic is definitely going to be the way to go. They are more expensive. However, you can get that little Zoom that I was just talking about, announced at CES. It's like $99. It's an XY stereo recorder. It's hard to beat that. Let's see. Literally typed out everything you said and messaged it to myself. I put these out and I saved them. So at any time, Jason, you can go back and rewatch this live stream. I don't, a lot of guys put them out there and then they do the live stream and then delete them. I don't see any reason to do that. I don't understand why people would do that myself. I mean, I figure the conversations that we have will stem questions and will answer other people's questions. So why not just share that and keep it out there? So I leave these out here so you can just DVR through them. Now, you will have to listen to me talk for 2 hours. You have to DVR it, I guess. Let's see here. I went down the path and then started to reuse music from previous vlogs or heard the same song on another track. Yeah, it's true with the YouTube music. It's free, and because it's free, everybody on YouTube uses it until they get to the point where they've I guess graduated from the YouTube music, and then they go to another source, and mostly because as you get bigger and bigger on YouTube, and you start to notice, hey, I was using that song. Well, it's not your song. So, but everybody's using that song, so it starts to get a little overlapping. So, like Epidemic Sound has, I don't know, probably 30,000 songs. It's insane, and they're really good stuff. There's a couple others. There's Soundstripe. There's Artlist. I just unsubscribed from Artlist, honestly, because I've been trying them. Soundstripe I still like. Artlist I like. Soundstripe and Artlist kind of tiptoe over top of each other, and so I'm only going to keep one. And Soundstripe's a little cheaper. And then I use Epidemic. Epidemic is by far the best for cinematic type music and mood music and dance music and anything that you're looking for specifically. Where Soundstripe is really catered more to a vlog stylish, not exactly, but yeah. So Rock Vlogs, what's going on with you, man? See, I get it. Rock Vlogs, playing music. Yeah, it's totally making sense now. I'm really liking how this, but right here, there's a glow on the side of the lights. I'm liking the way that looks. You know what I might do? This might be fun. I'll do this real quick. I'm gonna put a filter on this and see if I can make it look prettier. Yeah, Epidemic also, yeah, the stems. So a stem on a song is when you can export out just the bass line or just the drums. So if there's a part of the music that you really like, but you don't want to use the whole thing, then you can just export the stems with Epidemic. So you can actually just sit there and play the drums just from one section. And that is really cool. Let's see what we got here. This is Black Pro Mist. Let's try that. That should add a nice look to those lights. And this is with it off. And this is, oh yeah. That looks cool. I need some gaff tape and just put that on there. You know what? I have a Pro Mist in. These are my Cinema Glass filters. So they're really large, but I have these in the smaller as well. Let me grab that. So what else is going on in everybody's world? How is the throat holding out? Your space setup looks awesome. Throat's doing fine. I mean, coughing, I'm just going to cough, unfortunately. There's nothing I can do about that. Where is my Pro Mist? Black Pro Mist. Ooh, that's a 1. Wow. So this one's going to get really, really moody. Where did my... That's what I call them. I don't know what they're called, but I just call them these things. Because it makes that sound. Even my wife knows when I go, hey, where's my... She knows exactly what to get. All right, so we're going to build this out. That's to a 72, and I got to get all the way down to a 58. Yeah. 72, this is a 72 to 67. Gotta stack them. Let's see here. Wow, yeah. Nice name for them, Puffer. Oh, Puffer. I don't know. Sounds a little cool. Yeah, I'll probably just start calling them Puffers now. You've ruined it. Now it's no fun anymore. My wife's going to go, what's a puffer? I have to teach her what that is now. Need the filter rings. You know, another great investment, if you are slowly starting to build up a lens collection, buy the filters in the largest possible size that you're ever going to use, and then buy rings. You can get these rings like, I don't know, you get like 20 of them for $20 on Amazon. And I mean, you can adapt anything to everything. And then you're just looking around for all these. That's what I'm doing live. I'm just live streaming my rings. Lord of the Rings. Oh, look at there. Almost like I bought this on purpose. That's a time saver. This is a 58 to 77. Guess what diameter that is? 58. So I will take this all the way down. Wow. Man, what a day. This is going to be cool. Okay, so this is a Black Pro Mist 1. So it's going to be, yeah. And the reveal, boom, there we go. Cool. I mean, we're going to make this look really awesome in here. So these two, they go back in here because I keep these with this because this is where I use it. Let's see, what else is going on? Yeah. Steve, you ruined me, Puffer. Why? You could have just kept that to yourself, man. Could have just kept it, and everything would have been fine, all right with the world. But now I don't get to call it up anymore. Man. Okay. I like it. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. When you say big lens, what do you mean? Okay, so... Yeah, don't be embarrassed, dude. Honestly, the biggest lens is on the G7 is going to be this one right here. This is a 67. This is about, I mean, I think there's a telephoto by Olympus that I think has a 72 millimeter filter size on the front. But for example, yeah, okay. I'm just walking off set, but you know, you can still hear me, so it's all cool. This guy right here. Okay. So these are larger lenses. I am not a cinema glass guy because I spend all my money on cameras, but I mean, I use glass that I can use on everything. And so I use stills glass even on the red. So this is a 24 to 70 Canon, and this is an 82 millimeter front. Oh, that's dirty. 82 millimeter front. So this is a fairly large lens. This is a 600 millimeter, well, it's a 150 to 600 Sigma. It uses a 95 millimeter front. This is actually about the size of cinema glass. It uses a 95 typically. This is a big ass lens. And you can, using a Metabones adapter, you can, hey, got a new subscriber, sweet. You can adapt this to it. Now, you're not putting it on the gimbal. It's not going to happen. But you can adapt this and use it with the G7. Oddly enough, because of the multiplication due to the crop factor of the sensor size, this is a 600 millimeter on a full frame camera. On the G7, it's 2.5 times the crop factor, which means that a 600 millimeter on the G7 will actually look like a 1500 millimeter on a full frame. So it will have a huge telephoto. What you can do is they have these little things called, well, so Metabones. This is a Metabones adapter right here. So this is the Sony, and this is a Sony E-mount to a Canon EF. So it adapts it, and all your full automatic functions work through the lens itself. So it's that the Metabones are one of the best in my opinion. Let's see here. Here's a Canon 2X. So these guys are really cool. Now understand, I mean, there is a limit to, it gets out of control really fast. This one, it produces a beautiful image, even with this. The problem you come into is if the wind, if a hair falls on this lens, it will shake the camera and you'll see it. You don't see it normally on a wide lens because it's not perceived through the image. But when you're out with this at 600 millimeters, it starts to really show up. This is a 2X lens extender. It goes on the end here. Now this 600 is now a 1200 to the full frame cameras, and you start to see it gets really big. This will translate on the G7 to a 3000 millimeter lens. So when I say big lenses, that's what, that was my, this thing stinks. My chair. I got this chair for free, and it's not holding up. Oh, that's why it broke. When you're a big guy like me, you're going to break a few things. Oh, well. It was free. All right, so big lenses. Steve Cross, wow, okay. I'm assuming that's that you're saying wow about. UK Vloggers, hey, how's it going? Welcome. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe because going to be doing these a little more often. Like to engage. The Sunday afternoon is an interesting mix because I get all the UK guys. I like that. You can see planets with it. You can actually. Not as easy as you would expect. The planets are moving, and remember, touching just a hair touching it, it zooms out. But you put Jupiter in here and you stop way, way down and get it where it's exposed properly. I mean, it'll go right across your picture real fast. But you will actually be able to see. I've got, I don't know where they are. There's that cough. I took some photos of Saturn with this and the 2X on the Sony A7R II. This is a 42 megapixel. And then I zoomed way in on the image, and you could make out the rings on it. It looked pretty nice. Uh-oh. How am I going to light this again? Hey, cool. This thing was not lighting earlier. Hey, you guys in England know what these are. Here they're used for nefarious purposes, but in England, they make your tea boil. Much better. So what else is going on? I've logged off my iPhone and want to take a look. Then, yeah, UK Vloggers, just subscribe. Cool. UK Vloggers, that was a flame. Yeah, I was feeling a little heat. I was hoping I wasn't singeing my hat, although that would give it that cool lived-in look. Let's take a look here. UK Vloggers. looking for you. I don't have, at some point, I will be able to live stream what I'm typing in. I'm still working with OBS, trying to figure this thing out. I don't, there we go. So it didn't like, no, I didn't mean UK bloggers. Can you pop a link in there? I know it's kind of a faux pas to put your stuff in someone else's live stream, but if no one else minds, I don't mind. Pop a link to your channel. I can't. See, go. Oh, there we go. Go to channel. Never mind. I got it. I can right click on you. Hey, cool. Look, I'm a YouTuber. 155 subscribers. Give me, tell me one of the videos you want me to watch, and I'll take a look at it and see what we get. Any video in particular? Let's just editing my video coming tomorrow at 5 a.m. I'll just watch that one real quick. I'm going to turn it down so I don't blow out my upload. Well, that was 7 seconds. Well, first thing I would say is longer than 7 seconds. I think that was just a test, wasn't it? Let's try this.
I'm back doing daily vlogs for you guys. I've been drinking and I thought I would make a short little video saying I am back and I'm doing daily content. I have lost subscribers, I don't know how, but I have. And yeah, like the figure.
Just watching your video here real quick. Yeah, okay. Got it. So a couple of options for you. 10K merchandise goal. Yeah, if you go, I don't know if y'all can do that on the, I can. The way to improve on yours is spend, I think it's about $10 on Amazon. I think I have one here. This will, do I? Well, I thought I had one out. You need to stabilize your camera, and the way to do that is to put it on a tripod. I'm just going to give you the absurd example of what I'm talking about, but they make one of these in a iPhone or a Samsung or any kind of format. It's about this big, and it has a little clamp at the top, so you can set this on the table. This is obviously 5 times the size of it. I have one here somewhere. Set it on your table and get your hands off the phone. That will help your vlog instantly. So if you're gonna sit and talk, then do this. If you are going to walk and talk with it, put it on this, grab it like this, and walk with it. This will be a more stable shot than you holding like this, because our hands don't want to hold a phone like this. It gets awkward for our fingers, and we're constantly moving and adjusting. So you're translating that directly into the camera, and you're creating kind of an undesirable camera shake. If you're just doing it with your phone, I mean, that is step one. Spend the $10, get you a little tripod, and try to keep your fingers off the phone as much as possible, and that will help your presentation quite a bit. GorillaPod. There's a, man, where is it? I had it out because I was going to give it to my brother, who was using it with the GoPro. Maybe it's in here. That's a big dead cat right there. That's a dead squirrel. Where is it? Yeah, I can just walk around on. Back when I first ordered my Red Dragon and they were back ordered, my kids bought me a Red Dragon. It's my first Red Dragon, so I shoulder mounted it. That's why it's always in the back. I'm just gonna walk off set just a little bit. See what I can find over here. Thought I was over here. I'm just still talking. You can hear me. Well, I don't know what happened to it. I bet you they're all in the other room when I moved everything around. Yep. Well, they're $10. If you look, Joby Pod is the brand. I don't think Joby Pod makes the small ones. I think they are like Amazon Basics or something like that. They're like super cheap, but they're literally $10. Get that. You guys got that, what do they call it? The extra tax you got to pay. I forget that, the VAT tax, yeah. So what else is going on, guys? Happy to answer any kind. This thing is going to fall again. Yep. All right, well, I'm going to have to figure out how to clamp. Oh, that's what I could do, a C-clamp. Who else has got some questions or want to chat about something? I'm happy to talk about anything I can. I'll walk off set all day long. See, that's another thing I like about these Partagas Blacks. They burn consistently. You can't get a good ash off of them. And if you're a cigar smoker, you know about keeping an ash on there. But I mean, it's hard to keep a good ash on these. They just want to collapse, but they burn nice and evenly. Have a selfie stick vlog. Let's see if that'd be better. Selfie sticks can get, if you collapse it all the way down and you grab it at the end, it will do better for you. But it's not quite meaty enough. If you're holding just like a tiny little stick, you're gonna be holding it again in a jiggly fashion. Where these have kind of a grip, so they kind of naturally just rest in your fingers, even the little tiny ones. So you won't have to hold it as hard, and that will help you maintain. Because the easiest way to make your shot jiggly is to try to make it smooth. Honestly, the more you try to hold it still, the more it will move on you, because your brain is not as fast as the movements. So you're constantly adjusting and you end up moving it more. So the way to do it is to get it in a comfortable position and stop thinking about it. Just say, hey, how's it going? Blah, 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 blah. You're not even talking to the tripod or holding it. You're just kind of concentrating on what you're having to say. It will make a difference in stabilized shots. More drink. I do need more drink. Hey, Jim's working on a shot list for a music video I'm shooting with a friend on Thursday. Hey, man, use the Quasars. They look cool. You got six of them now? Yeah, you didn't answer me on the 2-foot versus the 4-foot, did you? Do you think the 2-foot is worthwhile or just the 4-foot? We need to post you a new chair, but this one was free. I mean, I even redo it because I'm a big guy, as you can tell. I'm 6.5 feet tall. This is a stool, and this right here is ultra high density foam that I have stapled underneath because I like that nice padding. And I mean, every chair that I get, I go in and I pull out all the foam and I put in this really thick foam that I buy in bulk, just because it's comfortable for a big guy like me. Yeah, that's gonna get a little annoying, isn't it? I'll fix it for the next live stream. I need my paycheck to come in. Yeah, I understand that. I do. If money no option, what DSLR would you recommend? Okay, Steve, give me more information, because as I said before, I don't know if you were on here at the time, it depends. What is the best camera? It depends on what you want to do. So give me a stated case of what you intend on doing with it, and I'll give you my money's no option advice for that. Because honestly, I could tell you this is the best camera, but if it doesn't meet the needs that you specify, then it's not the best camera. Definitely using the Quasar as I did. Oh, okay. I might like the 2-foot better. Still pretty bright, but less awkward. Okay, fine. I'm just going to go buy some 2-footers then. 2-footers will be easier to gel wrap too, because the gels are all 2-foot, but I can't buy 4-foot gels. Someone help on my channel logo and banner. Do I know anyone? I don't know anyone. Well, the people I know will charge you an extraordinary amount of money. I know lots of people, but they do it for a living, so it's not cheap. The best way, and I mean this honestly, is for you to figure out to do it yourself. Use YouTube, go out there and type in animated graphics and figure out how to do it. You spending that time will make your intro far better, and it's something that will translate later on because you will now know how to do it. If you're looking for just something you could plug in, go to pond5.com, P-O-N-D, the number 5.com, and they have channel trailers, or not intros, that you can download and plug in your footage and kind of templates, but you're still going to have to learn a little bit. So, I mean, you can pay someone, but the thing about vlogging that makes it a successful medium is you end up doing it yourself so that you can actually know what you're doing for the future. It really makes a difference. There's a lot of people that, hey, I need an editor for my vlogs. You can't pay an editor for your vlogs. You can't make enough money on your vlogs to have an editor edit them for you. Same thing with a bunch of graphic work. Unless you want something very specific that it's not worth your time. I would tell you to spend a little bit of time, see if you can do it yourself before you try to pay someone. For still and video. Okay. Steve, I'm going to challenge you again. What kind of video? Tell me the genre of video that you'd want to be shooting, the situations that you want to be shooting. Are you shooting at night? Are you shooting at day? Do you like slow motion, or do you like regular speed? Do you want sports, or do you want, what? Give me more information and I'll point you the right way. Okay, +1. Oh, Fiverr. Yeah, Fiverr. Jim's right. Bill's right. Fiverr is an excellent resource. Nothing costs $5 on there. I don't know why they call it Fiverr, but yeah, go out to Fiverr and type in logos, and you tell them what you want, and you pay them typically about $35 is what I found, and you'll end up with something. You can do that, but again, I challenge you to learn it yourself so that you'll know how. G7X Mark II. Yeah, it's a nice camera. Desktop. Okay. So Steve, if I understand, yeah, you wanting a camera for your desk. Well, kind of like what I'm doing here, I'm guessing. Probably for vlogs or discussions or what have you. All right. Next question. You need 2K or 4K? It's in increments of $5. Really? I like it better when it was only $5. Good all-rounder would cover it. I mean, my favorite, the best bang for the buck is the G7. My favorite camera for all-around use right now is the GH5. The GH5 it has so many capabilities above a standard type of camera. For instance, it can shoot in 10-bit color versus 8-bit. A lot of people won't notice that, but if you're color grading and you're changing the colors and you're pushing images, 10-bit color gives you more color to work with. And basically the way bit depth works is an 8-bit color space is 16.7 million colors. 10-bit is 1 billion colors. But the way to think about it is you have 256 shades of each color on 8-bit. So 256 of red, 256 of blue, 256 of green. When you mix those together you get 16.7 billion million combinations. Now what happens is, if you take 8-bit color and you shoot up against the sky, and like a normal blue sky, not cloudy, that sky isn't one shade of blue. It's actually about 1,000 different shades of blue. Well, when you're using only 256 shades of blue that you can do, and it's that blue of 256 shades is really dark and really light, but you're happy to be right here. So you end up with about 64 shades to represent 1,000. Now you get what's called banding. And banding is, you'll see this is a color, this is a color, this is a color. That shows up in 8-bit, but doesn't show up in 10-bit. However, if you're going to YouTube and you're not doing HDR, then you're never going to see 10-bit because it's gonna down convert it to 8-bit. So this is 8-bit in video. That is 8-bit and or 10-bit. GH5, I really like it for video and for photography. It does a lot of both really well. So the GH5S, my opinion on that, if you need low light, it's good. But if you're hand holding your camera, you lose all the image stabilization. So like the G7 doesn't have any image stabilization. So what you hold in your hand, when you jiggle it, it's going to translate into the actual image. The GH5 has the sensor itself will actually move around as the camera does. So it's independent and will help stabilize your shots quite a bit. So the GH5 gives you that. The GH5S loses that ability, but you do get lower light capability. Now, is it the best low light camera? No, it's not. Is it a great low light camera? Yeah, it is. Let's see here. Did I miss anything? That's not part of the question. Steve had written the typo earlier. That's not part of it. Okay. UK 70D is a really good camera too. Yes, I would say the 80D is better. The 80D has a lot better autofocus than the 70D, and Canon really does have autofocus nailed. We talked about that last week. The way that their sensors are done, they can use what's called dual pixel autofocus, and it's super fast. I mean, it can focus on you really, really fast. The 80D is far better than the 70D. There is a new one coming out. I don't know what it's called. My guess is it'll be a 4K version of the 80D. I mean, if you're looking at Canon, I would look at that. Keep in mind that a Canon camera is a big camera. It is bigger than a mirrorless. This is a mirrorless. The G7 is a mirrorless. GH5 is a mirrorless. I don't have any more Canon. I got rid of Canon mostly because they just kind of sat on their rear ends. They're finally catching up. Ding. Hey, I'm working again. I was talking too much, neglecting my cigar. That is a bad, bad thing to do. Let's see. So GH5 would have gotten it if I wasn't so new at it all. Yeah, really. The GH5 is the bigger brother of the G7. There's a G85 that's in between the two. To me, it was not enough to justify the almost $400 difference in price between the G7 and the GX85, I think it is. The only thing you gain on it is it has some stabilization built into it, but it's not much. $400 for that, I'd spend it on a crane, a Zhiyun. Use iMovie. Yeah, you can use iMovie on your phone. Yeah, Bill did it. And you can do it. Eventually you will outgrow it. That is life. It's okay. It's cool. I am going to order a beverage. Sorry. Can I get... Okay, let's see here. Steve, look at you. You have the Inspire with the X5, so 4/3 would be a good, yeah, you're right. Man, you, X5. So you have an X5 Inspire. Are you just a drone guy, or are you doing cameras, or what? I mean, you're asking the question about cameras, but you have an X5, and the Inspire is, I mean, that's no small drone. And the X5 is a cool camera. They never did get it where you could take it off, did they? I thought they were going to do it where you could dismount the X5 camera and put it on the little Osmo. I ordered my drink. Here it comes. Thank you. Let's see here. Yeah, I saw the Canon did announce a new mirrorless. Mirrorless is really the way to go for the future because it's more compact, and they're all going to go that way. The DSLR is just using the old mechanisms from film cameras, and there's no benefit in video or in the digital age for it. My understanding GH5 set up like a G7, so if you find it difficult to change products, there was a control mechanism, but is it a DSLR? No, they're not. So an SLR camera is a single lens reflex system. What that means is inside here is a mirror. When you look through the viewfinder, you're looking through, and then there's a prism that points you down to a mirror that's at a 45-degree angle that points through the lens. When you take a picture, that pops up out of the way and it exposes the sensor behind it. That's called an SLR mechanism, a single lens reflex. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. A DSLR is a digital single lens reflex. So when you're looking through it, you're seeing through that actual lens. What they're doing now, while mirrorless has to do this and everybody else, is they put a screen in here. So you're not looking through the lens anymore. You're looking at what the sensor is picking up through the lens. So you're seeing what it's actually going to look like digitally, in a sense that the viewfinders are not exactly perfect. So the reason they use the SLR mechanisms was because they were film camera manufacturers, and it's what they knew. And it took them a while. Sony figured it out a long time ago how to do mirrorless. And Canon tried, failed, tried again, failed, and now they're coming back and they're getting a lot better at it. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, you can. Okay. Well, I mean, Steve, if you can do the Osmo on the X5, then, I mean, really, you kind of have the Micro Four Thirds Echo. What was the term? You're in that world of the Micro Four Thirds. So try to find a Micro Four Thirds camera. I mean, the G7. I mean, it's a $500 camera. It is not. I'm going to say the X5 camera. Yeah, the X5 is a lot closer to the sensor on the GH5 as far as the capabilities, the look, the dynamic range than it is to the G7. The G7 has a lower dynamic range than the GH5. So if you like the look of the X5, the GH5 will be an upgrade to it, but it'll be very similar in the way that it works for you. Steve wanted a DSLR. Yes, DSLR would be nice, perhaps a full frame. So, Steve, was that you want a DSLR? Is that before or after my explanation? So, if you still want it, that's cool. I mean, that narrows it down quite a bit. Okay, that was really good to know. Oh, okay. So, if you still want an SLR, Sony still makes a SLR camera. I believe the A9 is an SLR, I think, a DSLR. The A7 are, I don't know, Sony comes out with a new camera every week, I swear. The A7R2 is a mirrorless. The A7S2 is a mirrorless. A7S1 and R1 are mirrorless. The A9 I thought is a DSLR. I would look that up, but I would blow my live stream out. I mean, really, Is there a reason you want it? It's a bigger camera, and that's all you gain, other than optically looking through the viewfinder. That's the only difference. There are not any, to my knowledge, DSLRs with micro four thirds. So that's something to consider. Now, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. If you want a DSLR, you're going to pay for it. I mean, you're going to pay for it in one way or another. You're either going to pay for it in you're paying a lot of money and you're not going to get some features, like with the 80D, which is a great camera, but it does not do anything but 30 frames a second. It has no slow motion capabilities at all. The 6D Mark II is a DSLR Canon, newer version, still doesn't do 4K, but it has slow motion in it. So, I mean, that's kind of it. I mean, that people love the Sony A9, that it's super fast, but you're really looking at kind of the sports photography era or area if you're looking for like the A9, because you're spending the bucks. And then if you're looking at the Canon, like the 1DX Mark II, I mean, you're $5,000 just for the body. Steve, you know, just joined the camera club and need to be able to hold my own. I have really mixed emotions about, I mean, I get your statement. I have mixed emotions about the intent because, number one, the camera does not make the photographer. I promise you, you can give someone, in fact, you absolutely, it was a trend forever. The Holga camera, which stopped selling recently, is a film camera. It's $20 for a film camera. It has no capabilities whatsoever. It's black and white, but it shoots some of the most amazing photographs you've ever seen because it's not about the camera as much as it is the photographer. So, yeah, Nikon, what's the top of the line Nikon, the 850? That's a great camera. I know a lot of time lapsers that still use that camera. They love it. Still use it. I mean, it's a relatively new camera. They love it as well. It is also a DSLR type. What lens ecosphere are you invested in? You're micro four thirds for your Inspire, so you're going to be jumping into a new lens system. So if you go Nikon, here's the one thing I've learned about it. Canon is the lens that can adapt to pretty much every camera because you can, it's designed to be so, whichever way it is, either close to or far away from the sensor. I think it's far away from the sensor, that you can adapt it compared to all the others. So I can put a Canon lens on a Nikon camera. No. Reverse that. I can put a Nikon lens on a Canon camera. I cannot put a Canon lens on a Nikon camera. It was the other way. So like in the micro four thirds, I can put Nikon, I can put Canon, I can put all of those on there. So I don't know if that made any sense or not. That probably was a little cloudier than it should have been. Pretty awesome streams, motivated me to film. I'm also barely keeping up with you guys. Dude, Jason, don't try to keep up. I mean, don't try to keep up because you'll never keep up. Because, I mean, if I tried to keep up with all the guys that I hang with as well, I mean, you run out of money. You'll never learn it all because you're constantly upgrading. I mean, the moment you buy something, it's obsolete anyway. Learn what you have and get the most out of it. I mean, it's the best way. You have a Canon adapter. Cool. I didn't like the Nikon screen. It did not flip or move. Yeah. So, I mean, vloggers created this need for the flip out screen. And it is the 6D Mark II has the flip out screen. So that on the Canon. I think the doesn't the Nikon 850 have a flip out? I thought it did. The Sony A7Rs still do not have a flip out. They have a extendable screen, but it would be nice to be able to flip it out. If you're vlogging, you want to see yourself. So I do understand that need. What else is going on, guys? There's 5 people on here. Jason, Steve, Bill, UK vlogger. Who's the 5th one? Is somebody just lurking in the background? Come on, step up. It's okay. Let's see, feeling better already. Yeah, I mean, don't try to compete. I mean, you end up doing yourself a disservice. Oh, there's Jim. You were lurking in the background. You know, it's my soothing voice. You probably just had it in the back and you were frying up some fish or something in the background, just listening, kind of like putting Bob Ross on in the background. It's difficult to see a screen at such odd angles. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Jason. Flip out screen is to me not so, well, okay. No, I get it. I get it. There are definitely some times when a flip out screen for photography would help. If you're really close up to something and yeah, I can see that. Or if you're down low, yeah. That's true. Bill did start vlogging with a GoPro. You can see his reflection in the lens, so that just helped keep things in frame. Yeah, and pretty much with a GoPro, if you got it pointed in any kind of general direction, you're in frame. Buddy of mine, Adam, hey, Rock Vlogs, that's me. That's cool. Buddy Adam, he's got this camera, and I think Casey Neistat did a quick little review on it, but it's a 360 camera that records 4K, and then you go back in through the app and you repoint to all the different shots. So you just hold this camera up, and it doesn't matter where you hold it. It's got you in there plus everything else. So if you want to show you just frame it in the app afterwards, and then take that, cut it out, and then you take the forward look, you take that, cut it out, you take the side look, cut it out, and you end up with the ability to build your own movable camera, all the different angles from just holding it up. But to me, that's a heck of a lot of work after the fact. Changed my angles completely, yep. Man, I so want to pour this Diet Coke in this. But this is my acrylic ice. It's a prop. It's great for photography. I like this look. I feel like I'm in a spaceship. Plus, I got this nice atmosphere from the smoke. Now, a lot of people are concerned that I would smoke around my red. I actually have a large ventilation system up in the ceiling. It's sucking all the smoke out. It's great. I mean, this studio was always intended to be a studio, but it was also intended that I could smoke my cigars and not worry too much about gear and smell and all that kind of stuff. So I put in a heck of a ventilation system. It's great when Bill comes to visit because we smoke cigars the entire time, and this place has a great haze to it, but you can evacuate it really quickly. A TV screen if you want a vlog for picture taking in particular, the flip out screen, but flexible godsend. Yep. All right, throw me another question. Anything. I don't care if it's newbie question, super advanced question. I like talking. Oh gosh, do I like the sound of my voice? I hope that's not it. Let's see. I gotta keep advanced on this cigar. Let's see. What's your favorite movie? My favorite movie. So, my favorite movie of all time, and I think Bill can attest to this because I do it I watch it way too often. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It is by far one of my favorite movies. I mean, there's a bunch of other movies that I really, really love. Don't get me wrong, but the way Close Encounters of the Third Kind look, it's one of the first movies that just dropped my jaw. And I was a child when that movie came out, but it looks so good. Uh, what part of the U.S. am I in? I'm in Texas, in Austin, Texas, the center of Texas. Um, Director's cut is the best. I agree. They now, which director's cut? Because there's like 6 different versions of Close Encounters, and I have all of them. I do the one. I think it's the non-director's cut because I don't think Steven Spielberg ever wanted you to see inside the spaceship, but it was. It was the version that they showed on like ABC television in like 1983. I think I was a kid and I watched it, and that version had the spaceship in it, and I was blown away because I love sci-fi and I love the lighting and everything. Honestly, this lighting, this filtering, inspired because of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And I've been working on a shoot or a filters vlog. I got a friend of mine helped me out with some filters, and I haven't done it yet, but I've been playing with it, trying to recreate the look of Close Encounters of the Third Kind outside, and I've got it. It's pretty close. Yeah, right. That's the one. Yeah, Steve. I don't think that is the director's cut. I think that is I think it was there's. On the director's cut Blu-ray, there's a bunch of behind the scenes, and they talk about Spielberg versus the studio, versus the producers, versus there was so many different people that wanted to weigh in, and I think it was Spielberg did not want you to ever see the actual aliens until the very, very end, and just that, never inside the spaceship. So the work I specialize mostly in is nature documentaries. I call it earth porn, just making the planet look as beautiful as possible. I like that mostly because I'm still building my skill set as a director, being able to translate into live action and narrative form. I do short films, but it's mostly learning for me, so that I can work with people better. Because I mean, directing is something that I aspire to be. I'm more of a director of photography, but I also like the directing aspect, so it's kind of flip flop. Let's see here. Director's cut, epic old school movie. Don't call it an old school movie. That's a great movie. I also do like Jurassic Park. I actually like the movie Dune. No one likes the movie Dune apparently, but I like the movie Dune. E.T. was fun. I like the Indiana Jones series up until 4, which never happened. My leg's falling asleep. I need this thing. I'm gonna put this back on. Jurassic Park was one of those fun movies that I thoroughly enjoyed, just because of what they could do with it. I may not be able to get this back in. I'm still here. I just need this back. I need a footstool. Oh, I have a footstool. I am prepared. That's the sound of an apple box. This is a full apple. And I'm going to put it in Chicago. Yep. Perfect. Got it. Man, look at me. Well, I'm making a mess. Let's see here. Earthborn, yeah. I wasn't born then. What do you expect me? Scott, I think that is the direction I would like to go. So yeah, so never got into the later. Yeah, when Star Wars Episode One, which was the fourth one, when it came out, I thought it was okay. I did not like it that much. I I don't know. It felt wrong. I like the look of the newer the 7 and 8 and the short stories. All those look much nicer, I think. I think, as I said, everything to me is about the look. I like the way things look. And like Close Encounters, it just looks so good. And when you look at it today, I mean, the lighting looks great, but you can see like the home scene when the little boy's running out in the field. You can actually see the matte painting of the stars. You can see it looks funny today, but I love that look. I just love it. Yeah. Yeah, Star Wars 1 was all CGI. The other thing was with Star Wars 1, that was when Lucas wanted to go all digital. And the only camera at the time was, I think it was the Panavision. It was a one of the first digital cameras out there. It was not the Genesis, which was Panavision's. It was maybe it was a Panasonic, but it ended up only having 9 stops of dynamic range. The G7 has 10. So what happened? They advertised this camera as just like film, but it only had 9 stops, and film has somewhere in the 15, 16 range. It could be even further if you push it a certain way. But because it looked so bad, they had to dumb down everything. So it had that really kind of flat look. And that was an interesting story to read about. Facebook, where they accidentally walked onto a Star Wars action scene on a beach in Florida. So Steve, what do you shoot? I mean, you're droning, you've got some stuff. What do you like to do? Let's see here. Yeah, UK vloggers. Yeah, I mean, as far as building up your channel, post often, post every day. Don't post 1-minute videos. If you can do 10 minutes of your day and put it out there, you're going to gain subscribers. That is the best way. There is no easy way. Asking for subscribers, it doesn't work really. Sub for sub is horrible. Don't even try it. What happens is everybody thinks they're smarter than everyone else, and they go and they subscribe, and then they unsubscribe. It's not worth it. Just content. That's what they say. Had a music video shot with that camera, basically showed Lucas what it could do. Could it do anything though? Because I think the more they dug into that camera, they found out that it just really couldn't do what I think it was called the SPX 900. It was a something 900 is what I remember. I think it was a Canon. Mostly drone work, but getting interested in land-based still work. Yeah. I love drones. I mean, I've got 2. I've got the Mavic Pro, which is just what I travel with, and it's honestly for sale if anybody wants to buy it. I don't travel enough with it, and I shoot with the Phantom 4. The Phantom 4 Pro Plus, so it has the built-in screen. The best thing I can say about that is, A, it shoots 60p, which I love because I get the slow motion shots. And B, because it has its own screen, I don't have to use the app, which means they can't force firmware on me. I'm still running the original firmware that came with it. It works like a champ. And they can't lock me into anything. They can't geofence me anywhere. It's great. Love it. I don't have a drone license. I don't believe truly that you need it. FAA I mean, if you're under 400 feet, it's really difficult. And in fact, so much so that only one person in the entire history of the U.S. has been prosecuted under the drone laws in the United States, and they were ticketed. Really, I think he paid $1,000 fine or something. It wasn't even anything. This was the guy who flew into an NFL stadium. So only one person has ever been prosecuted. They basically tell you, please don't, please stop, because I believe in safety. Don't get me wrong. I believe in common sense. And I believe that, yeah, it shouldn't be so that some kid can go fly something into the side of a building. That's bad. I get that. But if I'm a common sense drone operator, which I am, I'm not going to fly like that. So I'm thinking safety. I probably will at some point get my Part 107 that they call them in the States, across the pond. And it's fairly easy to get here. I mean, I flew airplanes years and years ago. Was trying to get my private pilot's license, so I get the ideas to get the Part 107. So I'll probably get it one day. I'm not doing enough drone work to justify it. If I bought the Inspire 2, which I would love to get, but I can't justify it, then I probably would, because at that point I could show up on more sets and shoots with that. Yeah, the Inspire 1 is awesome. That is the one thing I wish they could do on the Phantom 4, is give me that dual op capability, because I want to be able to spin that camera. Because I'd just give my wife the controls and I would frame up everything. New legislation. Huh? Yeah, say everything in life. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. Safety, common sense. It's what everyone needs to adhere to everywhere. You know, the UK, not UK, the US in everything. I don't want to talk about politics, but like guns are a huge thing, topic of discussion. But no one wants to talk about common sense approach to anything. Everybody wants to be binary, yes or no, you can or can't, or you this or that. Never a middle ground. And if people would just exercise common sense. Common sense is not eating a Tide Pod. Common sense is not, oh, it hurts when I do that 6 times. Common sense. People would exercise common sense, then, you know, we probably wouldn't have the problems we have today. Yeah, just lost a watcher because I went in politics. Who was that? Man, this has been a 2-hour cigar. That's awesome. I've been doing a lot of talking. Only 2 relights? I think, yeah, 2 relights. The stream is holding up really well. I'm liking that. I'll probably, next time, I'll probably try to push it to 1080 and get a little more bandwidth and see if we can kind of push the quality a little further. Because 720 is kind of okay. Civil Aviation Authority are going online, finding people who are using drones outside of the parameters. Nah, it's not your fault, Lucian. Yeah, I mean, okay, so I'll give you an example. In the United States, the FAA law is you cannot fly within 5 miles of an airport. I get it. I understand exactly why. And common sense would tell you this is a reasonable thing. However, if I'm at my house, and let's say I'm 4.9 miles and from an airport, and I'm at my house, and my trees are 100 feet tall, I'm not legally allowed to fly my drone at 50 feet. There's no way an airplane could hit my drone, but I'm not allowed to fly it there legally. Common sense would tell you, you can fly it, don't fly above the trees. Don't fly in the path of airplanes. That one guy from what is it, in Israel that had his drone sitting on the side of the approach and was catching planes coming in. That's dumb. That needs to stop immediately. But you know, me being able to fly around an airport, I don't want to fly around an airport, but I want to be able to fly reasonably. That's maybe in areas that should or should not be restricted. Yeah, the case in point that I was going to make was, yeah, you can't fly by an airport. In Las Vegas, there's the Strip, and the Strip is like 4 or 5 miles long. And at the end of the Strip is the airport. So you cannot fly anywhere in Las Vegas around the Strip with a drone, and for obvious reasons. Now, the hotels are 60 stories in some, I don't know, maybe not that. Yeah, the Wynn is pretty tall, 50 stories, whatever. It's really tall. So why can't you fly a drone in there? Well, I mean, safety would tell you there's millions of people, thousands of people walking around. Not a good choice. I agree. But there was a YouTuber, Casey Neistat, who flew his drone around the fountains at Bellagio. You can't do that, but he did it. And he got in trouble for it. I mean, people were some kind of upset. And then he started doing it. He was doing it in New York a lot. And there's all these helicopters that fly around. It's a little dangerous. And he got in trouble. The FAA sent him a very, very strongly worded letter. And I'm sure scared him enough to the point where he's not going to do that anymore. Good for him. Yeah, Casey's not being sued. Yeah, he talked about it briefly and then deleted. Come on, light. There we go. They were going after him, and what they really wanted him to do was to stop being a bad influence on everybody else, because he was doing it and people were thinking they could get away with it. So they settled with him. Basically, he apologized to them and promised he would never fly in New York again. But he still flies everywhere else. That's the nature of the beast. Again, only one person has ever been prosecuted for violating drone laws. Only one person. And there have been hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of incidents reported and investigated. But they basically come and say, stop, use common sense. And it comes back to that. What can I say? I'm a fearmonger. Yeah, Jason, you're bringing the whole vlog down, the whole stream down. Nah, that's cool. What else is everybody talking about these days? I mean, I like drones. I will say that I have a little bit of fear for some of the technology that is in these that could be used for very bad purposes. And I'm 99.9% certain that's what governments are fearful of as well, because you could program a drone to take something bad to a location and you could just sit back and that's bad, really, really bad. And so I get the geofencing, just building it in there where they can't undo it. I get it, because unfortunately there's always a bad apple, always. Man, I like this cigar. I bought a whole box of these yesterday. I haven't bought a box of cigars in so long. I have a nice humidor. Let's see here. What is coming up? There's we have our Renaissance festivals. Those are always fun. There's one that's close by here, so that's coming up here in the next month or so. You'll probably see a vlog or something from there. I like them. They're fun. It's an excuse to get out and drink beer. Oh, man. I can't post a link in the chat. What do you want to post a link to? Maybe I can. No one killed by a drone owned by a private person. Plenty killed by dangerous dog. Yep. No one thinking of banning dog. Yeah. Common sense. Just don't binary everything. Yep. You can pretty much make your own drone. Yeah, you can. Not going to stop unless. Yep. I agree with that too. I think the solution is going to be not geofences in the actual drones, but literal geofences electronically that probably build a wall. And they'll do them in layers, and it basically something flies in there, just falls out of the sky. And that's where I'm guessing is going to go. Electronic bubble. There's a new Sigma Art Prime 105. Really? You know? You're not helping me out, Jim. That was one of the reasons when I'm selling my Mavic, because I'm going to buy the 85 millimeter Sigma, and I was looking, I wanted to complete out my Sigma set because I really like the Sigma lenses. Um, and the 135 to 85 is such a huge jump, but a 105, that would look nice. I would like that. What is the f-stop it can do? Is it like probably a 1.8? I'm guessing that'd be really nice. If you like good quality glass, I highly suggest you look at the Sigma. If you're looking at cinema glass, I would tell you to look at the Takinas, but they're $5,000 a pop. Takinas are the most gorgeous glass I've seen for the money out there. The Sigmas, they have cinema glass as well, and it's rehoused of their art glass, and it is amazing. Let me grab some. It is truly beautiful glass. That one and this one. So I have the 2024 and 2024 and 35 of the Sigmas, and I need to get the 50 and the 85, and then I was on the fence on the 135, but the 105. So this is a 24, and this is a 77 front element. This is a full frame f1.4 lens, and it is so, I hate to use the word crystal clear because that doesn't describe glass very well. It's a very clinical looking glass to me. I always described it as the Sigmas are great to make like a laboratory look amazing or look at any kind of technology or lights or anything. And then the Takina glass for humans, for nature, for anything organic. I just felt those two were ridiculous. 1.4, that is awesome. But the Sigma glass is so nice. I mean, these are like $900 a pop. This one, I think this is 900 as well. This is the 20. This is a 20 millimeter f1.4, and this is what I use all the time on this guy. It is my time-lapse monster, and they actually now have a 14 millimeter that is super wide. I mean, really, really wide, and I can't justify it because the 20 does such a great amount of sky. If you're interested, it's on some of my short films under the films category of my or films playlist. There's some of my nighttime lapses. I have a whole bunch that I still haven't posted yet. I don't know why. I just don't like editing. Oh, did you get the 24 to 30? Yeah, that's cool. So the 24 to 35, it's hilarious. So on the red over here, which, yeah, you can see, this right here is the 18 to 35 Sigma, and it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lens. But it is not full frame, so it won't cover the A7R2. It actually won't cover the red either. The Red Dragon 6K sensor is not full frame, but it's bigger than Super 35, so it'll actually vignette around the edges. But what you can do on this one is you take it to 22, and it covers the sensor on here. You put it on a full frame camera, and you set it to 24, and it covers full frame. So his 24 to 35 is the 18 to 35, and they just don't let it go below. And it's the same lens, but it covers full frame. And it is a beautiful, beautiful lens, and it's f1.8. It's super fast, or f2 or T2 on cinema glass. I found loads of old lenses. I really would like to know what make my shots look like. Should I get an adapter and put them on the G7? Yeah, you should, because they're cool. And the cool thing with that, I don't know where it is. I'll put a link, hopefully, if I remember to put all these links in. You can get a Micro Four Thirds to, say, Canon or Nikon adapter for the G7 or the GH5 that is fully manual. And the reason you can do that on this older glass is typically the older glass doesn't have autofocus. It doesn't have auto f-stops. It actually has a dial for f-stop. It actually has a dial for, or a ring for focus. So there's no automatic functions on these old lenses. So you can get the $100 adapter, put it on there, and you have a fully manual lens that you can put on your G7. And some of those will look amazing. So honestly, I mean, buy an adapter, a cheap one, a $100 one. I have one here somewhere. I haven't cleaned up in a while. Get the adapter and take the G7 with you when you find these old lenses. Pop it right on there and pop it to the sun. Pop it, see what it does for flaring, because there's so many great characteristics and lens is a character. It's a mood. So when you put like a Sigma on and you get that very clinical, as I say, look to it, or you get the Mamiya lenses like I have here, and you get this really kind of just almost mystical kind of quality out of it. It's really character, and even scratches on the lenses will give these amazing artifacts that breathe life into your pictures and your video. So yeah, try that, absolutely. So yeah, I'll put a link into the one that I got. I think, I can do that. I can search on my Amazon for adapter. And I'll see if it lets me, Canon. I'll see if it lets me put a link. Yep, okay, here's one. So this guy, text, give it to me. At $60. So this is a link to American Amazon. I think it will translate you over, won't it? Let's see if I can put a link. Does that link show up? I don't know if it does or not. That link right there is a Micro Four Thirds to Canon adapter. They make them for Nikon. And what it has on there, it actually has its own iris that you can manually adjust. So if you're using an automatic, what we do with these is you hook them up to a camera that has that's fully automatic, and you open it up to f1.4, and then you pull the lens off and then power down the camera. And you do that, this lens will lock at 1.4. Now you use the auto iris on the adapter, and then you can adjust it. For your case, if you're looking at old vintage lenses, you would not need that iris adapter on there, so just open it up wide and use the actual iris on the lens itself. Hey, Steve, good to have you, man. Hope to see you again. And yeah, I mean, interact with the videos. I'm happy to answer any questions, and we can continue the conversations. Yeah, cool. So the link showed up. Cool. So I can post links. Cool. Y'all can't apparently, but I can. What were some other links you were asking about, Jason? What were the links? Because there was another, I promised a few. I'm going to have to go watch just to find out what I promised I would link. And these are affiliate links. If you don't want to purchase on the affiliate link, I understand. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. I get like 4%. You still get the same price, but I get the 4%. If you don't want to do it, I'm not going to have my feelings hurt. So don't feel obligated. It's just super easy for me to give you a shortened link that way on Amazon. Let's see here. Any other questions? Oh my God, I mean, I'm still 2 hours and 8 minutes on this live stream, and I'm still good to go. I can chat for a little while longer. Let's see, got 4 people watching. Let's see. Really want to grab some old cheap lenses. Yeah, Jim, check out the Mamiyas on Amazon. There's on Red User. Go to Red User and go to the, I think the lenses section, and search Mamiya. And somebody did this, I think it was Phil Holland, actually. Phil Holland's an amazing DP. He did a complete breakdown, and I think it was a couple of other people, actually. talking about all the different Mamiya lenses, which ones are the better ones, which series, editing equipment. Yeah. So check out that thread on Red User, and you can find them. Go search them on eBay. There's hundreds of them out there, and I mean, I picked up some of my lenses for $60, and they're beautiful. Have a Windows PC. What editing software should I use for videos? The best option for you, honestly, in my opinion, is you can subscribe to Adobe Premiere, and I think it's $9.95 for just Premiere by itself. It's $9.95 a month. You can subscribe to that, and you use that software for as long as you subscribe. Anyone know if I'm recording film next week? We need to get that started. Yeah. Premiere. If you do a couple of a couple of searches on YouTube for how to get started in Premiere, there's a primer out there that gets you going. Bill, you just learned Premiere. How long did it take you to figure out how to get around Premiere? Because he just switched over to Premiere. And that's your best bang for the buck. If you are affiliated at all with any school, or if you have kids that are in school, you can actually get the education discount, which you can get the full suite of all of the Adobe products for $19.95 a month under the education. You're not supposed to use it for commercial use, but I mean, we're dabbling, right? Editing equipment. Windows PC is fine. I mean, I edit on Windows. I use a Mac well, I do edit on both. My main editing workstation is a Windows PC, and I did a walkthrough of that. If you go back, I don't know, maybe 6-7 months back, 2 months. Windows XP. Oh, used to. Yeah, about 6-7 months back, I did a tour of my editing workstation, which is it's a built-up PC, but by today's specs, it's probably not as fast, but it really can cut like the the red footage really easily, and I like that. I can edit on this this MacBook as well, and you can use Premiere on either. Your license allows you to flip around, so you can have it on your laptop, you can have it on your Windows, you can have it on your Mac and your PC, and you just log into it, and then you can use the software. I think he was saying he learned on Windows XP back when he learned it. Yeah, I mean, I think if you did some tutorials on YouTube and you had a film that you shot and you started cutting it, that by the end of your short film, I mean, I'm talking like a 5-minute film, you will have a pretty good idea how to do basic functionality in Premiere. And then it's just like adding stuff to your repertoire. Okay, I want to try to do this. Go out there and search on YouTube, add that to your next film, and learn that one. And you just keep adding to your abilities. Yeah, I'm pretty bored at the moment. That's because you're running around town taking photos of everything. DaVinci Resolve is free. I think it still is free. Yeah, DaVinci Resolve is the software that most colorists use in the film world, in the professional world. It is free. They have a editing solution built into it now. It is very difficult to learn. I don't like it. I have to use it for some coloring on such, and it's always a challenge for me to relearn, because if you don't use something, you lose it. And it is tough. It is. I don't think it's intuitive, but you can edit for free. You could download it and get it. HitFilm Express. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, HitFilm Express. HitFilm is cool. So, and HitFilm, fortunately, is one of those that you can still buy once and you don't have to subscribe to it. So they have HitFilm Express, which is free. It's a basic editor. It has some features, not a whole lot. Then they have HitFilm Pro, I think it is. It's either $200 or $400, but it is a fully featured editing software. It also includes some 3D capabilities like from Adobe After Effects, and it's all merged into more of a simple product that you can buy one time. So that is definitely an option out there. Any other recommendations for Windows? Not really. For Mac, you can do Final Cut Pro X. It is also a little different, but it only works on Mac. So if you're not a Mac guy, yeah, that won't work. My nose is itching. It always happens to me. That actually, on all of my videos where you see me jump cut between when I'm talking about a product and all of a sudden I cut and I'm doing something else, it's because my nose itched and I had to scratch my nose. I don't know what it is. And no, I don't do drugs. Let's see. What else is going on? Sounds like you got it. It always sounds that way. It's my nose. I think I've got a deviated septum. I think is what somebody told me once. It's where your nose broke. When usually it happens when you were during birth, that your nose breaks and the doctor just straightens it up. But if they don't catch it, then your nose breaks and it stays broken forever and you never know it. And it always clogs up. That may be what I have. I don't actually have a cold at the moment. I still have that cough, but my nose is just, I mean, I guess if I open up my nostrils quite a bit, I'm okay. But I don't do drugs. Let's see. What else? 2 hours, 15 minutes. That's a pretty good stream. Stream is healthy this time. I didn't have one glitch at all. I've heard other people using the free 3D modeling software Blender. Yeah. Now, Blender is full-on 3D modeling, and it is free. It is for creating like a 3D world or 3D objects. It is really good for that. No, you're still don't do drugs. Honestly, the nose right now is because I started itching it. Now it's going to continue to act up. Plus, I did just smoke a cigar, so it's going to have a little bit of an effect on my nose. Coughing, yeah, I always cough. I have my father's cough. He always, you cough like one time, just once, and I think it's kind of the Balkum way of clearing our throats. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, the live stream worked really well this time. No glitches. The lighting, I like this lighting setup. I'm probably going to stick with this. Man, the Kinos, I may put those up for sale now. I've seen people take these, and these are dimmable. These $75 little, well, these, they're dimmable. I've seen people put them in their Kino flows and use them. I might just do that. Just swap them out. Then I don't need that anymore. Let's see. Any other questions? Anything out there? I'm happy to answer, of course, as always. If not, I'll probably close out the live stream. 2 hours and 17 minutes. I think it's pretty good, I think. Good interaction. I appreciate, Jason, you joining in. Like the setup, dude, you seem awesome. Really think I could drink and enjoy a glass of whiskey with slime. With slime? I think you mean some. You guys in real life. Yeah, honestly, when I go to Europe, which I am going to do at some point, yeah, I'm going to look some of you guys up, and yeah, we'll sit down and either drink some whiskey or a pint, and or four. And yeah, I would love to sit down and chat sometimes. Yeah, Jason, thanks for being in here. I appreciate the interactivity. I like talking. I like interacting. It's good stuff. All right. Well, as always, please do subscribe if you haven't already. I know a lot of you already have. And I like to end it with my saying, which is, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions. And we'll see you.